Hey guys, back to your regularly scheduled bus videos. Hope you enjoyed that goat video earlier this week. I'm in the bus. I'm going to be getting back to work in the bus. We're going to be trying to wire wheel some rust off, see how that goes, and then we'll see exactly how much we need to cut out and that kind of stuff. I went this morning to our local Ace Hardware. They had a product called Skyco Osfo. I believe the PHO from OSFO was for phosphate, and it is a something phosphate mix or chemical that treats iron oxide, more commonly known as rust, and turns iron oxide into iron phosphate, which then doesn't rust. So it'll turn this red rust into black iron phosphate, and it won't rust anymore. And then I can prime over it with a rust inhibiting paint, and then we can start building back. So, per my uncle's suggestion, I was going to wear my RZ mask, and I wear this all the time. It is more than a dust mask. It has a filtration system in it. It has one-way valves on either side. They're really nice masks. They're very comfortable. I'm not sponsored by RZ Mask, but RZ Mask, if you're watching this and you'd like to sponsor a video, just let me know. I'm going to wear one of the 3M full face masks with the more high performance filters, because this floor is treated. It's galvanized. Galvanization is great for inhibiting rust for short periods of time, even a little bit longer. But when water sits on and it gets scratched and stuff like that, you still end up with rust. Then when you go to grind off that rust, galvanization is apparently really bad for your lungs and can do nasty things to it. So while I will be wearing safety glasses, I will also be wearing a respirator and protecting myself. I've also opened up most of the windows in the bus. I've opened the front door. I'll keep the back door open. It's got a nice breeze today, so hopefully this vents pretty well. It's 80 degrees today, which is really nice, but the bus gets warm, so the ventilation feels pretty comfortable in here right now. But once I put the glasses and mask on and I'm crawling around the floor, I'll probably be sweating like a pig, so forgive me. Let's get to the action.
Let's get it. Also, Luke, I am your father.
Okay, this is actually going pretty quick. I got a divot on my nose. It's going to be interesting to see because we were going over some friend's house later. I'm going to have a big old divot in my nose. Anyway, it's going pretty quick. I read the instructions for the OSFO, and it says just kind of get the flakes off so that the OSFO can get to where it needs to, and it will treat everything. Like, you don't need to get it all off. So I'm not going to be super OCD about how much I get. Probably more worried about the walls because the asphalt will go off. But it says 1 gallon covers 600 square feet, and this is 30 feet by 7.5 feet, so 240 square feet, something like that. So I've got enough to go over it twice if I need to. You can see there's rust, iron oxide dust everywhere. But I'm having problems with my goggles fogging up. So I got from about here over to about where the speaking of which, I need to grind off the screws on that so we can get to that little square right there is the gas tank access from the top. So I need to take that off and find a different way to put something on there when we put the subfloor on. I'm going to need to make sure I keep an access door there so that we can get to that. But like I said, I'm not going to go crazy on grinding this off because it literally says don't worry about it, like this will treat it. So let's keep after it. Okay, what once was a pretty clean bus is now really dirty. Got about half of the bus done. I did all the way to just in front of the wheel wells there. And I think I'm pretty convinced that trying to grind out everything is more work than it's worth. So going with the wire wheel, getting off all the surface rust and the flakes. There's probably, like right here in front of the wheel well, I'm gonna have to just cut out some parts. So I'll get a cut off wheel and cut that out. And I might have to cut a little piece back here out, and I might have to cut a couple little pieces up in the front out. But I'm gonna go ahead and try to vacuum this now so I can kind of see what we've got. But yeah, so far about halfway done. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm pretty sure the baby's nursing. That's good to see. Well, maybe you can see there's spots where the surface rust has been ground off, and there's spots where there's still some rust, but not a ton. Might look like a ton, but it's not. And I'm more and more convinced, based on reading the instructions for the OSFO, that this is going to be fine. This will be iron phosphate and not rust, and will be good. So I've done up to this slat right here. So from here that way I've done. Now, like I said, probably have to grind out a little spot here, definitely have to grind out a little spot here and weld something back in. But for the most part, that's done. Up here, there's not a ton of stuff between here and here, and then we get back into more rust up here that needs to be taken care of. So I only worked out here for maybe an hour, and part of like a good chunk of that time was just getting stuff ready, making sure I had the mask, all of that stuff. But I got half of it done. I really feel like this back half is ready to be treated with OSFO. And obviously I want to get that done sooner rather than later. This will probably only take less than an hour to grind the rest of this. And there'll be a couple spots up along here that once I can treat it, and then I can grind it out. I can also then treat it again like the bare metal after that. The spots where I'm going to weld in. But made progress. I would really like to get, today is Saturday. It's Saturday afternoon. We're going over to a friend's house for dinner. I would really like to get this treated with OSFO by the end of this weekend. So by tomorrow evening. So I don't know if I come out here tonight under the cover of darkness and start grinding that stuff, or if I just do it tomorrow around church and other stuff we've got going on tomorrow. But I figure even if I come out here for half an hour a day, an hour, 2 hours on the weekend, 3 or 4 hours, I can start making progress, and then I can start getting stuff put back in here, and that's what I really want to start getting moving on. So I had planned on spending a lot more time out here today, but then the baby goat was born. It looks like the baby's doing well. And I first tried to put a layer of straw down so it had like a path to go on, but then it became obvious that I needed to put it in that tractor. And I think that more and more is looking like the right decision. Let's see it over there maybe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have questions, let me know. The other thing I wanted to say, there's a channel called Meta Spencer, and he did a bus. It took him a couple years, but it was like starting in 2017. And this is what he did. He treated it with iron oxide. He didn't go crazy grinding everything out. And after having read the instructions on that, I see why, and it makes sense. I mean, there's rust underneath the bus that I may or may not get a chance to treat. And this bus is 20 years old, so it's lasted this long. If I treat everything, weld in new places where it's needed, if it lasts another 20 years, if it lasts 10 years, that'd be great. But if I treat it and it lasts another 20 years, that would be outstanding. So we'll see what happens. Thank you guys so much for watching. God bless you and your family. If you're not following me on Instagram, go find me over there. And we'll see you guys next video.